Hello, my name is JVC. On this channel, normally I talk about movies and clothes people wear in those movies, but today I'm going to be doing something different. Today I wanted to talk about my other passion in life, which is neckties. I have built up quite the collection over the years. No comments about the storing device, it's literally the best thing I can do. And today I wanted to share that collection with you. So, let's do it! I don't know what I'm doing. Right, I'm going to start with some honorable mentions, which aren't actually neckties, but other sort of ties. For example, this one, as you can see, is not a necktie, but in fact a bow tie. It is a clip-on from H&M. Not really a big fan of bow ties, though I am a fan of Doctor Who, so... and you automatically are kind of a fan of bow ties, I suppose. As you can see, it's pre-tied and clip-on. There we go. And I don't like that it's pre-tied and clip-on, so I don't wear it very often. It's also very, very basic, just a black bow tie. So I don't wear it very often, but yeah, it looks quite nice, I suppose. It's not really worth talking about that much, though. What is worth talking about is this one. It's a red burgundy, I don't know what colour it is, bow tie, which I got as a birthday present from my grandmother. She knew I wanted a self-tie bow tie, and she gave it to me. And that is the day I learned it is very difficult to tie a bow tie. Also, I seem to be missing half of it. Hang on. There it is, the other half. Right, so I'm just going to try to see if I can remember how to tie a bow tie from memory. Which I probably can't, to be honest. It starts like right, and then the tie thing. No, not like that. Like this. And then you do this. And then you do this. And then there's a hole here. Well, there should be. That's how you tie a bow tie, everyone. So don't let any doctor tell you otherwise. Bow ties are not cool, they're very difficult to tie. But let's be honest, when you do manage to tie one, you feel really, really cool. So I don't know where this is from, to be honest. I did know once upon a time, but I forgot. And I can't find it anywhere. It's not on this, so. And the last honourable mention is this. It's a black ascot, at least. That's what I've been told. I bought it once upon a time when I was quite young, and I was just starting to get into the Doctor Who. And I bought this because it reminded me of Colin Baker's Sixth Doctor. Which, now I'm older, I'm like, how did that remind me of that? Because if there's one thing, Colin Baker... Wait, did I just forget how to tie a tie? So now I'm older, I'm like, how did this remind me of Colin Baker? This is black, and if there's one thing the Sixth Doctor avoided, it's wearing black collars. Also, I don't know how to tie it, really. All the videos tell me to tie it like a normal necktie, but without the last step, so it looks like this, which isn't very pretty, in my opinion. Then you should do like the collar down, I suppose. Right, that doesn't look bad, does it? I don't know. You could also wear it under your collar. And then you tuck it in like this. And now you look like a kind of gentleman, right? That looks decent. So apart from not really knowing how to tie it, I don't wear this very often because it's an ascot, and let's be honest, when should you wear an ascot? Like, unless you're getting married, never. Right, and those were the honorable mentions. Now let's get on with the real necktie collection. This might be the first necktie I ever wore. It is by Commodore. This is also the necktie my father wore when he was getting married to my mother. So it used to belong to him, but he doesn't wear neckties like ever, except for when he was getting married. So it kind of just sat in his closet, not doing anything, and then one day it magically decided to move from his closet to mine. Weird, right? This is, if memory serves me correctly, the first tie I ever owned myself. As you can see, it is a black tie with red kind of polka dots on it, and it is by McGregor. Don't exactly remember why I bought it. I don't think it was for any specific occasion. Just bought it because I wanted to own a tie myself. And yeah, I still quite like it. It's definitely one of my favorites, and it is probably to this day the tie I have worn the most often. The next one I call the Shark, because it looks like shark teeth. And it is from Ideen in Stoff. I don't know if that's right. It is German. This tie used to belong to my maternal grandfather. Is that something people say? I'm not sure it is, but I'm just going to roll with it. And he gave it to me one day, I guess because he didn't want it anymore. And I quite like it. It looks old-fashioned. It's a bit wide at the bottom, but I don't mind that. It's a wonderful tie. I like ties with like weird patterns on it. I probably wear it more often than I should. I regret making this video already. It's quite a task putting all these ties on. That were just 3 ties, and I'm already tired. Oh god. Next up is the thin one. I have had this tie for so long that I don't remember where or why I got it. Well, actually I do remember where, because it says H&M on it, but I don't remember buying it, is what I mean. My opinion of this tie is quite low, because, as you will see momentarily, it is quite thin and very long. Like it comes to almost my knees. Because of that, I bought another black tie, so I basically don't wear this one ever. Next up is the Angel, and it is from Terre Bleue. So while my black tie was too long, this one is too short. It doesn't look too short, but look at that difference. If I had tied it properly, you would see it's too short. I don't have another new white tie yet, but I don't ever wear this one because, well, it's too short. I think it's actually a children's tie, like for communions and stuff. So that's why I don't wear it. Next up is the ugly one by Angelo Litrico. Something I've never heard of. This one I also got from that same grandfather. So this one is from that same grandfather, and when I look at it, yeah, I can see why he ditched it. Normally I don't go around calling ties ugly, but this one is just... Next up is the pink one by Commodore. This one was also given to me by that same grandfather. By the way, he didn't die or anything, he just gave me his tie collection one day. As you can see, it is a very manly tie, which is good because I quite like manly ties. It's also a little bit short, but that's okay. I quite like this tie, but funny anecdote, once upon a time I did a presentation in this tie for school, and one of my classmates asked, "Wow, where'd you get that tie?" And I said, "Well, my grandfather gave it to me." You know what he said to me? He asked, "Wow, did your grandfather hate you?" So I guess not everyone can appreciate manly ties. Next up is the Flower, and it is by Impression. This is the last tie I got from that same grandfather. Don't worry, I've got another collection of ties from my other grandfather. Why can't I tie ties properly anymore? They're always way too long. Or short. It's made from this kind of silky stuff, and I don't really like the feel of that. Also, I don't like the pattern, the flowers and the paisley, so that's why I almost never wear it. Next up is The Favourite by Charles Vogler. Vogler? Now, it's not called that because it has anything to do with the movie, it's just that it is probably my favourite tie out of all my older ties. It has a nice colour, it is simple yet elegant, and I like it very, very much. This one is The Fireplace by Massimo Dutti. As you can see, it has a nice red colour with orange spots on it. I really, really like it. However, I have no memory of this tie. Don't remember buying it, I don't remember wearing it ever, except for once, which was to an oral exam. I quite like it, and I should honestly wear it more often. Next up, The Christmas by Connemara Ties Ltd from Dublin, Ireland. That's nice that it says where it's from. Maybe I should call it differently then. This is a nice tie. I called it The Christmas because it has red and green pattern on it. And this was originally a tie I bought for a Two-Face costume. I was originally planning on cutting it in half through the middle and then sewing it to another tie I had cut in half, but eventually I didn't have the guts to murder a tie, let alone two. I also like the wool it's made of. I think it's wool. Does it say actually? Yeah, it says 100% pure wool. Although I don't think the lining is wool. Next up is The Doctor. Also, it doesn't say where it's from, what brand or anything, but it does say 100% pura seta, which I guess means 100% pure silk, because it says that under it. And it's made in Italy. So, yeah, do with that what you want. This was the other tie I was planning on cutting in half for that Two-Face costume, but eventually I decided it kind of reminded me of a tie David Tennant's Doctor would wear, so I used it for a rather bad David Tennant cosplay. And although I am not very proud of that cosplay, I still like this tie, it's pretty. Next up is The Two-Face by Coachella, which isn't that like a music festival? This was the tie I eventually used for my Two-Face costume, and I think it looks great even without a fitting cosplay. And concluding the Two-Face quadrilogy is The Red Two-Face, also by Coachella. The Two-Face tie actually was quite a bit cheaper if you bought two of them, so I bought this red variant, which I love possibly even more. The dark and the lighter red just fit perfectly, and I love burgundy. Next up is The Dark One by Angelo Litrico. I bought this one for my prom because I wanted to do a very special knot which used two colours. And for that I needed two ties of roughly the same size and width and fabric. But eventually it didn't work out that well. It worked out quite well, but not that well. But I still use it as my go-to standard black tie. Next up is The Firehouse by CNA. This is the second tie I used for that very special prom knot, which didn't work out that well. It's a lot more stiff than the previous one. As you can see, it's roughly the same width, and it actually looked quite good, like the colors. Despite its stiffness, I still like the color and the simplicity, and I wear it quite often. Now I have to re-roll this one. Which, by the way, I know you shouldn't roll up ties, but I don't have space for them otherwise. I don't have a tie problem, I can stop any time I want. Next up is The Ocean by Ermenegildo Zegna. Once again, I have no memory of this tie. I don't know if I bought it or if someone gave it to me. I like the colors, but not the design very much. I don't wear it usually. No, I don't. Next up is the Dotty one by C&A. This blue tie I like way more than the previous one. Normally I'm not a fan of the little repeated design, but this one I just love. I bought it for an oral exam, which, by the way, I don't buy a new tie for every oral exam, but it's a nice excuse. Anyway, I still love it. I wear it very often, and it is probably one of my favorite ties. And that is where I'm going to leave it off for today. We're just about halfway there, so yeah. Thank you for watching all the way through. I don't know what you're doing with your life, as I don't know what I am doing with mine. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.